don't think I could live without wind anymore in my life.
What about water and air?
I'm very much into, I guess, the idea of the end of the world and natural disasters. And I know that the way I would like to die is directly affected by a natural disaster. Not necessarily a tornado whipping a car into me, but more just the force of the wind in some way. Like, essentially that the weather itself in one way or another could destroy me.
I wonder if you would feel powerless once you know what's going to happen, you know? Come walk with us to the other end of the platform. Try to follow our footsteps if you can. In 1929, there was a hurricane that decimated Miami Beach completely.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody thought that was it.
That was the end of the world.
Yeah.
The end of the world, yeah.
And then the city kind of rose again. Hundreds of people stop by and take the pictures on this clock every day. No one really knows why. This wasn't a beach to begin with, this was mangrove. Like, this is all fake. Even since I've lived here, I've seen all those islands on the left of the causeway pop up, you know?
Well, as far as Miami Beach, my understanding is that Miami Beach is a barrier island, an island that you wouldn't want to necessarily build on because it protects the mainland. It serves to protect. So we freak out to maintain something that was never meant to hold this kind of development. But I guess that's just human nature, is to work against nature.
Let's walk back here. Down the ramp on the left. Let's walk through the trees and let's stand at the bottom of the stairs.
I love the water. I have to be close to water, that's a fact. So if there's not a beach nearby, I need to find a lake or someplace that I can, because that totally changes my outlook on life.
Well, my grandma always told me that if you ever want to learn the truth, you ask a crazy person or a child. I never thought it was true because of the child. I lie a lot whenever it could get me out of trouble. So then I just assumed the only person that had truth was a crazy person. And then as I understood crazy people, I realized they're just talking about some other shit anyways. So then that left me with no one. No one has the truth.
Is there truth anymore?
I think there is truth. I don't think it matters.
Air, I just love the wind. Wind is so wonderful, so refreshing.
Let's walk over to that tree across the way. Let's go through the grass and sit on its trunk.
I don't think I could live without wind anymore in my life.
Why?
Because living in Florida, it's just a part of life. The breeze, the sea breeze. Then we get into places where there is none.
Let's go through the grass.
It's so dead. This is always like alive. Something's always moving. Butterfly. Ah. That's another good thing about air. Is butterflies. Because they fly on the currents.
It's funny how you only hear frogs when it's raining. Is change violent?
Usually not. Usually it's so slow that most of us don't even realize it's happening. I like change. I'm a creature of change. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again.
Let's walk over to the other side of the building. Let's take the long way. Let's walk on the outside road over here to the right. And it's so funny because people, a lot of the times, they tell you, well, you have to be a master or something. You can't be a jack of all trades.
Right.
But I'm like, well, if there was a big disaster and you put a master and a jack of all trades in a deserted island, which one would survive?
Which one would you want to be with?
Right. You want to be with the jack of all trades.
Exactly.
The other guy's not going to last very long.
I know.
It's all for the bicycles. And the roller skaters. It's history, true?
It's true. History is true to somebody, but not everybody that was there. I would really love to take a history class in another country, in another language.
The actual Latin root for history is female. It's historia. So it's named
Hysteria. Kind of close.
It's kind of close. Let's go left and walk over to the short cement wall across the way. And sit there facing the building for a bit.
How do you feel about pole dancing and stripping?
I mean, I've seen it. I think it's probably very sexy for some people. And if that's the way they can make a living, that's fine, I don't know. We all put on shows for our jobs. And so, whether it's pole dancing or being a business executive, you've still got that face. That's the way life is.
So I heard this theory that people's inner child is actually of the opposite sex, and that when people are in conflict, it's because they haven't accepted that. What do you think of that?
I've never heard that. So I don't understand why everything has to be gender. I think gender's heavy.
Let's walk back over to the front of the building. Stay on the right of the road. Cars go by here when you least suspect it.
Is physically altering your body violent?
It depends. I mean, it actually, a change in a body would be if you chose to have cosmetic surgery, or you chose to have sex change operation, or you chose to have your body changed in one way or the other, there has to be violence involved there, because it's invasive surgery usually, and you don't have a choice that your body will hurt.
It's not. I do not think that physically altering your body is a violent act.
Let's cross over to the front of the building. Let's stop at the yellow parking meter over here on the left.
I don't think it's a violent act. I think as long as you're physically altering your body for the right reasons, it can be a really interesting movement.
When I was moving from New York, I was driving one evening and I looked to the right and there was this huge black cloud of birds that was kind of moving with the wind. It was really magical. I've never seen that many birds together. And they were going south.
Yeah, so they know when to come down here for the
So I was like, I'm going in the right direction.
They know where to go for the winter.
My father would windsurf a lot. So I just think of wind and water as this mega force, a lot of power and energy in it. And it's kind of this unruly presence that no matter how we talk about it or rate it or register it with our machines, that it's still going to do whatever it wants. And there's something really romantic about that.